Good afternoon, everyone, on this talk show, and welcome to the 7th episode of SCM Talk Show Season 3. The last episode, if we recall, was on magic of segmentation in supply chain. And this episode is quite unique, very new, is on virtual real-time supply chain quality management. Topics we usually choose from the responses that we have sent the survey to all of you and what your responses are, and also availability of good speakers. So this session is being recorded and this will be made available free on KnoWerX mobile app as well as KnoWerX YouTube channel. Like our earlier practice, we are putting everyone on listen only mode. And like all previous times, please submit your questions in the chat box. We will take few questions at the end if the time permits. So it's my pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Mr. Sundar BSK. Sundar is Senior General Manager Purchasing at Schneider Electric. He is 2014 postgraduate in Operations Management from CMI Institute of Management Studies. He also completed his CSCP certification from Apex US in 2020. He also completed a leadership executive program from INSEAD. So he has over 26 years of experience. He worked with GE Plastic, Larsen & Toubro Electric Business Group, BCH Electric, and now with Schneider Electric. He has worked in multiple roles like maintenance supervisor, manufacturing team member, R&D engineer, manager vendor development, and now senior general manager purchasing. He has very wide experience and knowledge from diverse supply chain management in segments like polymer, electrical and electronics, switchgear, industry and energy management, etc. So along with Sundar, I also welcome Satish Katti, Director Supply Quality and Development, and Suresh Kumar, Senior Manager Supply Quality. Welcome, Mr. Sundar, Satish, and Suresh.
Thank you, sir. First of all, yeah. Suresh is there in the lines. Suresh, are you there?
Satish is there, and Suresh is not
Satish is there.
Yeah.
Maybe Satish, you can check if he's able to connect.
I will check it out.
Parallelly, let me start. Okay, first of all, thanks, Ravindra ji for giving this opportunity. Definitely, it's a good platform to share the innovation what we have done, and thank the award what we got through SCPC on the innovation category.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sundar, for accepting our invitation to share your practice.
It's our pleasure. It's our pleasure to share one of the best practice. It is very easily adaptable so that it can be replicated in the other interested industrial people also.
Okay, all right. Okay. So can you talk a little bit about Schneider Electric and products and customers, etc. A little bit. I mean, we can go to website and get all the details, but from your mouth.
Sure. No, I'll be happy to introduce first of all from my company. Probably most of people think when you name about Schneider is lift manufacturing company. Schneider is not. But Schneider is not a lift manufacturing company because people always tend to confuse between Schneider and Schindler. Okay. Schneider is a French multinational company which has got a history of 186 years, old company, which is into industrial automation and energy management. And we make products which is whatever you see in the electrical distribution, right from switches, what you use in your houses to ring switch units, which you find on the road, the industrial equipment automation units. So even three-phase UPS, which supports the data centers, critical applications. When you go to the electrical panel, so everything you name in the electrical distributions, critical powers, we are there. So globally, we have operation in 110 plus countries, and we do a turnover of 29 billion euro.
Wonderful.
In India, we have 28 factories spread across north, south, in eastern part, all across the part. And Schneider has grown very fast in India by acquiring some the regional brands also. So Luminous, the L&T electrical business is also part of the Schneider Electric group now. So we in India almost We are close to 2 billion euro of turnover now, growing fast. This is and also we have one of the most biggest R&D centers of Schneider is located in India. We have more than 25,000 people working for Schneider in India.
Oh, wow, that's impressive.
Okay.
So coming to today's topic, can you elaborate the purpose and how you went about on this journey?
Sure, sir. I'll be happy to share because this is the innovation which we started during the pandemic. Actually, if you really ask me, during the pandemic time, there was a restriction to go to the supplier place, work on, see what's happening at supplier place. So because of the compulsion, this innovation has happened. I can say. Parallelly, there are also a requirement of monitoring critical to quality CTQs from the remote place from supplier. So this initiative I will split into two different part. So we started this called a real VR. First is called real VR glasses. So real VR glasses we deployed at our supplier place where it act as a remote eye where any part issues, part approval, part quality issues, that the operator or the concerned person at supplier place can wear this glass over there and he can zoom in, zoom out. He can operate the machines using the real wear glass, and this can be connected through Teams. So people sitting at office location or sitting at home, they will be able to monitor what's the process, how the machines are running at supplier place. So this technology definitely we use because similar like in the automotive, all part approval, we also do a process called PPEP. So the PPP process, we need to do a kind of industrial pilot run trial where the person has to go physically, sit at supplier place, monitor the production run, then only we sign off, we approve the part. But using the real world technology, we are able to sit at the office or at home. We are able to monitor the process, how it is getting processed at supplier place. So this really helped us not to slow down during the pandemic, and it has helped us to cut down a lot of travels also probably. One of today nowadays everybody talk about cutting carbon footprint. So it's really helped us to avoid maybe working from remote supporting the supplier. This is the first thing what I can say the real VR glass which has helped us to work remotely. The second thing which is called COSAR. COSAR is a French SPC control software which we deployed at our supplier place, which helps us to monitor the CTQs, which is called critical to quality at a real-time basis from our supplier place. For example, a supplier, a molding supplier, a measuring supplier. Today, we are sitting at our place at 24/7. We are able to monitor them at what parameter the machines are running, the critical quality, the dimensions are whether within approved CPK. So traditionally, what it used to happen is in the past, okay, the supplier will supply the material at the incoming level. You used to check when you don't find that it is not meeting your quality requirement. We tend to reject. Then somebody has to go sit there, correct the process, ensure that it is systems are put in place. And after some time, it also happened. It gets iterated also. But with this COSAR, we are able to monitor real-time basis what's happening at the supplier place. Also, we get an alert if something is going out of the limit. We get an alert so that the material which is non-conforming material doesn't come to the factory. Also, supplier gets the alert to stop the production and do the corrective action.
Excellent, excellent. But this sounds, I mean, this is, of course, technology is very impressive. The sounds called impressive. I mean, it sounds too costly. What is the cost of implementing this initiative, and how your suppliers cooperated for this investment? I mean, I'm sure it's not Schneider's investment. The suppliers must have also taken some part of it or a whole part of it. I don't know how was that done. But let us talk about the cost now.
Okay, in terms of cost, I will not say it's a big investment. Really, if you ask me, the real VR glasses cost between 2 to 3 lakh rupees. It's not a big cost. Probably if you're sending your supplier quality engineer or if somebody goes and sits at the supplier place for a week, you tend to spend more than a 1 lakh rupees in a one visit itself. So if you really see in terms of cost, return on investment, the real VR glass cost is not such a high. It's 2 lakh. Also coming to the Quasar definitely we have collaborated globally with Quasar. I believe the cost of license, Satish, if I am not wrong, it is only 300 euro per month per year, right?
Yeah, yeah. And the first year it is free, and then the second year only we apply the fees for that.
So if you see the total cost of 2 lakhs plus 300 euro, it's nothing, but it is a very small amount. Okay. Even the return of investment on this cost is, I can say it is less than a month. If you are avoiding 2 or 3 travels at a supplier place for the development, you will be able to recover this money. So in terms of cost, definitely it's very small. But in terms of benefit, it's very, very beneficial to the people like supplier quality, the procurement teams and all that.
So who took the cost, Schneider or the supplier?
In this case, it was suppliers. We requested the suppliers to implement the cost. But in terms of negotiating with COSAR, giving them the bundling, giving them the best negotiated cost, this was initiative taken by Schneider.
And I'm sure some cost must be required for training also.
Yes, there is some small cost, but
Okay.
not okay. But definitely the suppliers. Yeah, Satish, you want to add?
Yeah, we don't charge for any training actually. We give the training to the suppliers and their teams. So we don't charge for anything. It's a very useful system, which is a web-based system. And since most of the people today are well versed with the internet and various apps and so many technologies, people are well known and well advanced in usage. So the training on digital platform becomes much easier. Okay, it's not something earlier like you take long time to teach the people and educate. It's very simple web based system. You just keep browsing, nothing goes wrong even if you make a mistake. Okay, so all those features are there, so it becomes easy for the people to adopt.
I think COVID really helped people adopt technology very, very fast.
Very fast. I
Yeah,
agree
otherwise,
with you.
they won't have done. So do you have some sort of a video recording or some sort of a demo to give which participants can see what it is all about?
I think Suresh is not able to join, right? So this one.
Sundar, I think I am not able to reach him.
I can show what is Quasar. Okay, small video I can show.
Yeah, video also is fine, to see that, how does it work?
One minute. Okay.
I saw some screen.
No, I need to add audio also.
Okay. Yep, the audio came actually, yeah.
So you're able to see the screen, right?
Yeah.
So this is how we real time today. If we are In India, we are 20 plus suppliers have connected in this COSAR platform. So today we if we can connect, we will be able to see where is this in terms of between these two lines. What is the process parameter which is running? We can see on the real time basis over there.
So real time meaning the input is taken from IoT?
Sorry, real time
is taken from some IoT devices on the machines?
Yeah, these machines are connected to the cloud. So from there we can real time we can connect and check.
Okay.
And if anything is this parameter goes above the acceptable limit, immediately it also triggers the alert systems also.
So the alert goes to the manager of the supplier as well as to you, is it? So
Yeah, so yeah, we can link multiple emails to both supplier as well as the it gives alert to Schneider also.
Okay.
This is just brief about what is COSAR thing. So as it was showing the incoming, it also helps supplier to reduce the incoming effort on the incoming quality inspection also, because it generates the incoming quality inspection report directly. It get the reports are transferred to Schneider. So this saves a lot of efforts on putting somebody in the supplier side, people's measuring, creating a report. This effort is also reduced there.
So I'm sure
And
this reporting is done only for the alerts or not for everything, that will be too much reporting, right?
no, the data is there. Actually, we also have a connected instruments. Okay. So the measurement systems, as and when they take the measurements, it gets recorded. It's a cloud-based server. So the data will be there. Okay. So we can always choose the time frame where we want to do the analysis of the data and all. So data will be there. So if I see, for example, molding process, which is a plastic molding process, we have defined around 16 critical to process parameters. Okay. And some of them are coming directly from the machine. Some of them they record and then key in the data as and when they do the inspection. And typically there are 15 critical to quality characteristics for any component. Okay. So those measurements are also done. And with the connected instruments, once they confirm the dimension, it directly gets into the system. And then it is easily available for me in Schneider as well as for a supplier to view the data.
So actually, what challenges you faced? I mean, this implementation may not have been easy. From selecting a supplier who, where you should implement to, training them and investment and, the hardware maintenance, hardware failures, there must be several challenges.
So this particular system, what we are talking about is actually we first did a prioritization of the suppliers, those suppliers which are supplying critical parts. Now the critical parts are listed by the design. So in a product, there are some few critical parts. So we listed those suppliers. And then second thing is giving them the user ID and password. So that is one challenge which we face. Okay, so supplier should have a unique ID. It cannot be on a individual name ID, but it has to be a corporate ID. So many suppliers, sometimes the medium scale suppliers do not have the corporate email ID. So that they have to create, and then we give them the access. And once the access is given, it is like, entering into the web. So there is no problem. Okay, so automatically we upload the inspection plans and they just use that. So whenever any production is happening, they pick up the inspection plan and then continue the measurement. So it's a very easy to work with.
So to make it real time, did the suppliers have to make investments to increase automation of the machines that they had?
Yeah, some of the machines, what we have suggested them is that some machines are, the latest machines are already having the data logger
Right.
and they can give the data. The old machines, we suggested them to go for a retrofitting. So we also suggested some of the suppliers who can do this retrofitting by putting the additional sensors and all. Okay, so this is what we are asking them. And instruments, most of the suppliers purchase the instruments which are a digital connected instruments. Some of the instruments are also Wi-Fi enabled. So you can actually go into the shop floor measure and it will get connected to the system. The operating system that is required is only Windows operating system, Windows 10.
Okay, so that's easy.
Yes.
So why did select this COSAR for this initiative? Is it because French connection or what?
No, we evaluated actually three different suppliers. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's not only QSAR. We evaluated, and then we looked at various benefits, ease of doing, ease of implementation, and ease of usage. Okay, those are the things. And second thing, we evaluated the features that it can offer. Okay, so some of the softwares, they are good, but they are not able to connect with some instruments and all. There is no proper, data upload is not possible through the Excel file or CSV file. So some features are there. So we evaluated based on the feature, and of course there is a cost part of it also. The first time investment cost and then the running cost.
Okay. So has Ms. Suresh joined? We can see some more demo if he's joined.
I think Suresh could not connect. It looks like he's not able to connect.
It's not there in the hall, I think.
Yeah, I don't see his name anyway. Yeah.
Let's move on, Ravindra.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So
Maybe I can quickly share with you how it works. Okay.
if possible, yeah.
Yeah. May not be in the details because some access is a problem, but you can see. Can you see the screen?
Yes, I
Yes,
can.
yes.
You can see here. See, there are so many suppliers, okay, which are listed here. Every supplier has been provided with the user ID and password, okay. And like when we click any supplier, we will get to know like how is their IQC workstation, how is their IQC data, what is the SPC capability, what is the SPC monitoring. So all those things are available into this folder. So this is what we have for all different suppliers. Now the suppliers, like this is a worldwide which we are doing. Okay, we have got 250 plants and there are so many suppliers are also there. What we have done is this technique is also used internally by us also. Okay, so it's not that we are only asking supplier to do it, we are also using the same QSAR platform for our manufacturing plants. Maybe I can open one, but let
So
me
so
see.
this so this
Yeah.
folders that you're showing is some real-time data or it is
Yeah, it's real
historical?
time. It's a real time folders which is there. It is a web based, as I said, qsarspcac.com. It's a web based and it is available for, it is all real time actually. I'll just open one of our supplier where I have the access. Just
Okay.
1 minute.
This will be like this topic is more interesting for the people who are coming from a manufacturing background. So for sure, yeah. So who are connected, working with the factories. If they, I'm not sure what today from the audience, people from the manufacturing background, for sure, this will be a good input for them to replicate.
Just I'm just opening it. Yeah, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes, Atish.
Yeah. So like as I said, this is the total screen what we have. Okay, and in this one we have different actions. We can do the study. We can have a like the SPC measurements we can have, and also we can look at the different files. We can upload the files. We can configuration. Everything can be done over here. So these are all various suppliers which are already there, and we need to we have access only to the people where the supplier actually belongs to. I think the data loading is taking time, but this is how different analysis charts and all details will come over here.
Okay.
You can check for some molding supplier, but probably I'm not sure this supplier is working today.
1 minute, then let me exit this one. So you can see here, you can see the screen, right?
Yeah, yes.
So you can see here, there are different inspection plans which are actually, given to the supplier. So this particular supplier is giving so many parts. So these are various parts which they are producing. And then we can pick up any parts, okay, which is there for the study and, the data and all. So we can actually select that. So you can see here, what are the parameters we measure? You see here, actual applied tonnage, cooling time, okay, dosage time, cycle time. So these are all the values which are there. And we ask supplier to upload this information. You can also see here, what is the machine size, okay, what is the product which is getting running here, what is the plan number, what is the version. So there is a traceability also there. Plus the complete process monitoring details are available into this one. So in this one, if I select say machine, then it will also say what is the manufacturing order, operator name. So this is basically, to get the details of the traceability, like when it is produced, who is produced, who was the machine operator, which was the machine, and then various characteristics we can actually do the study. Okay. So this is what is all about, the QSAR. So we can see here whether the normality test is possible or not. Okay. What is the standard deviation? So like these are various data points which we collect, and then we see whether it is okay or not okay. So this is how the whole system works.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. At least we got some hang of it.
Yeah.
So let me go to the next segment. Let me ask Mr. Sundar, why did you choose supply chain management as a specialization?
Honestly, my answer is I have total 26 years of experience.
Mm-hmm.
First 10 years, I have no clue where I am heading. Okay. I was going with whatever opportunity comes, I was going. First 10 years, I was working in a different function, manufacturing, quality, in a different area. So how I moved to supply chain, it's an interesting story where like I was more of a technical guy, used to support the team, the procurement team or vendor development team for issues at supplier place or some quality issues. I used to go along with them. So most of the time I used to feel that, okay, I am able to convince the supplier, able to create I can able to influence them for the decision making. Sometimes I felt I am doing much better than the purchaser in terms of influencing the supplier. So I found opportunity. I went to my boss in BCH Electric, went to my boss. I wanted to, first time I realized that I want to take up supply chain as my career after completing 10 years of industrial experience. I wanted to grow my career in supply chain. I went to my boss. I told him I want to move from technical to the supply chain function. In fact, I was reporting to the chief of the organization, where when I went and talked to him, this level what I requested was 2 level below what I was doing. Okay, and he was not very comfortable saying that today you are one of my direct reportee. If you really want to go back to supply chain, you will be like 2 level below from the current level. So I said probably because of my ambition, I wanted to grow my career long time in supply chain. I took a kind of a step back in my career. In fact, he gave me 2 days time. He said, please go back home, think it, discuss with your family, then come back. So I went and discussed with my all well-wisher. Then I really made up my mind that I want to grow my career in supply chain. Went back to him. I said, my decision is firm. I really want to move back to supply chain. So one of the natural strength of mine was creating a network and influencing the people. This was one major requirement for the supply chain, but particularly in the strategic sourcing side, when you deal day in day with the supplier. This how it was well suited for me to make my career in supply chain. So last 15 years, currently I'm becoming a core supply chain professional.
Wonderful. Ms. Satish,
Unlike today the millennials, they have a choice. Okay, they decide okay which function to go. They select supply, they select company. They said they reject offer. But Ravindra ji, during our time, okay, we used to take whatever opportunity it comes to us.
I mean, today's youngsters are so well informed and so much choice they have. When I was doing my engineering, I did not know why I am doing and where I am going to go and which job I am going to take. I had no idea. Whatever came, we took it. So can you share your story, Mr. Satish? How did you land up into supply chain?
Yeah, basically, I worked in various functions. Even before joining with the Schneider, I'm with Schneider for last 13 years. I worked actually in maintenance and greenfield projects. Then I was in design and development R&D, and then for a brief time I was in basically new product development projects, and then I was in material function. So before coming to Schneider, I was handling the sourcing part of it and working with Tata Visteon. And when I joined Schneider Electric, I actually came into quality function to manage the supplier quality. Now here, when under procurement supply chain, we have different verticals. One is the category management, another one is a regular supply chain management, and then the supplier quality and supplier development. So I prefer to go into that, and that's how I am with the supply chain. So that's how it is.
Wonderful. So, Ms. Sundar, would you like to share some stories that you have lived, I mean, good and bad, something which you really, still remember, in your memory, and probably it will stay in your memory forever in
Some of
supply?
the some of the highlights in supply chain, what I can say is challenges which I felt. One of the story which I still remember is a challenge which was thrown to us to meet the cost of manufacturing from what we have in China. So one of the product line, we replicated the product line from China to India. The management wanted the cost should be lesser than China, so that we get maximum share of business in terms of global requirement. So that was the biggest challenge. And but out of the total cost in the bill of material, 50 to 60% material was still coming from China.
Okay.
Manufacturing in India. So we had only a liberty of buying locally of 30 to 40% content. So that was the biggest challenge where we worked with a lot of cross-functional team. We applied a lot of innovative ideas. We brought in different tooling methodologies. We worked on alternate sourcing. We ensured that we meet the biggest cost challenge. This is really, I can say, this project we worked on for more than, I can say, 18 months to beat the challenge of meeting a China cost. Still, it is like a competition. It was really a kind of competition meeting the cost target. So successfully, we are able to maintain our competitiveness with whatever we have localized. Okay, with our innovative process, we implemented our supplier place. That's a good recognition which we got from Schneider because of now able to contain and maintain the cost compared to China. We have our internal competition, Ravindra ji, to tell you that within Schneider also our cost, what my cost in Schneider India is benchmark with Schneider China. So whoever is having a best cost, they get maximum business.
Excellent, excellent. Very happy to hear that.
It is not only the challenge is thrown to the supplier, it is also challenge to the internal factories also.
Okay, great, wonderful. Ms. Satish, would you like to share some, event or some experience or some project or whatever which you will remember, as a success story of yours throughout your life?
Yeah, actually, the success story actually starts from my first employment itself,
Okay.
and that was my great learning. During campus selection, I was recruited in Greenfield project of Crumpton Greaves in Aurangabad. That is the vacuum interrupters lab, and that was the switchgear unit. And it was like when I joined that one, the first day I was the first employee. When I went there, I was told that this is your plant, and nothing was there. It was like open site, and I built the complete site there. My help there as a graduate engineer trainee. That was my first project to be really taking up. So installation, commissioning of various machines, and ensuring that working liaising with the Westinghouse US, which was the technologies provider, and working with that team was really helping us to make it very successful. So that was the start of my journey. And after that, one of the major thing that I actually learned is, as a project manager, uh, launching different products with the marketing and with the help of sales in the field, which is like consumer kind of a product. And I delivered that around 12 to 15 products in a shortest possible time. Okay, so as a project manager, so that is how I feel that working with cross-functional team is actually very helpful. It's not about people working or reporting to you and making them, but working in a cross-functional team is actually more helpful, more rewarding, more challenging. That's what I felt.
So we teach collaborative design and collaborative
Yeah.
process, and collaborative really works.
Yes.
So, we have a lot of people, youngsters also who have joined this talk show, and they're also going to see, our recording. What is your advice, Ms. Sundar, to the supply chain professional who are the budding supply chain professionals for their career growth? How can they accelerate their career growth? What do they need to do?
Certainly, okay, the supply chain today is a booming market where a lot of demands are there. If you
Yes.
really ask me today, the supply chain, the attrition level in the supply chain function is very high. Maybe because of the demand, because of the opportunity, also the workload high. Just give you a glimpse in saying that uh, our CEO used to say, okay, maybe you used to spend 2% of his time on supply chain issues, because normally CEOs spend time more on seeing the top line, bottom line, sales target, but they never get into supply chain related topics. Mostly it is given to the supply chain officer, chief supply chain officer. But today, in the last 2 years, what we could hear from, he is almost spending 10% of his time on supply chain topics, which is 5x compared to what he used to spend 2 years before. So that's how you can understand. Off late, all the CEOs mostly working on supply chain so that the business is secured. Okay, today, unless until your supply chain is functioning, you get material, you get parts, then only you can produce and serve to the customer. That's how the supply chain is becoming a more and more important domain in the industry today. So a lot of opportunities. The opportunity is also creating a lot of attrition within industries. So managing people is also a challenge. So what my advice to the people in supply chain is, definitely supply chain is today not only a transactional job, okay, where you can just release PO, get the material, process the payment. Today supply chain is also, you have a lot of responsibility. You need to see that probably people talk about with sustainability. People talk about from where do you buy, how do you buy. These also to be noted. And also today in the uncertainty world, something goes wrong. Okay, something happens in earthquake in Japan, something Shanghai lockdown. The supply chain professional need to know that what is the impact it is going to impact me. For example, the war situation in Ukraine, how it's going to impact the industries. Probably we all know that if you related to manufacturing industry, really the Ukraine war has impacted the nickel prices are shooted up like anything. So today the supply chain, it should be more agile, more it should be known from where the source the materials are coming, and you need to keep yourself updated. So very important to learn every day. Keep yourself updated. It's not like the past days. Okay, you keep on just working on the same thing, discuss with the supplier. A lot of new idea, new technologies coming up, new digital way of working is coming up. So please keep at least once in 2 years, update yourself, get certified in the new thing so that you are ahead of the people in this domain.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sundar. Ms. Satish, what is your advice to our listeners to grow their career?
Yeah, today, if you see, career is actually, it's not a vertical career or kind of a thing. Today, it is all about the horizontal career that people look out for. And for supply chain planning, I think the world is very big. There are plenty opportunities which are there. And the opportunities are good because, today the world is connected. And if you take an example of like Amazon or Flipkart kind of businesses where you can order any material available anywhere in the world, right? And it can come to your doorstep. So today the avenues are very big. Okay. So for a supply chain professional, searching, scouting for the supplier, the material, and the source becomes much easier, I think. Okay, and that's how it should be. And what is important for career is like how intelligent you are, how good you are, and how best you get the benefits to your organization. So that is how it will be. So the career is very good. Second, why this career in supply chain is more rewarding is today the world is working in an uncertainty, right? So the risks are very high, and the person who actually take a risk and deliver the best results in the uncertainty, I think is really challenging and rewarding career.
Okay. I think COVID has put supply chain in a center stage. It was subject of operations management. Now it has come to the board level. So that has really changed. And I'm sure that is going to accelerate further. And Amazon, as you rightly said, Amazon has changed everything what people expected or wanted to see and so on. So people now want to see, like what you said, you can see a real-time picture of the supplier. I'm sure your customers also would like to see real-time information about their orders, where their orders are, and what is the status and when they're going to get the delivery and so on. And that's going to be really challenging for a manufacturing
Yeah,
organization.
and actually in Schneider, we already have this one. All our customers can track their orders, look at where is the material,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and as soon as the material is delivered, there is a follow-up survey which goes to the customer, and
I
we
see.
get the instant feedback from our customers. Okay, we monitor something called as NSSOD, a Net Supplier Satisfaction Survey. Okay,
I see.
and we try to get the real-time information because you send the survey after 1 month, it loses its relevance. When you send it the moment the material is in your hand and you get a survey link, people are happy to give the feedback very instantly, I think. So that is really helping, and we are already in advanced stage in that area in customer
Wow.
management.
Excellent. Very happy to know that. So, Ms. Sundar, one question to you is you are CSCP certified. So how did you went about it? How did it help you?
Honestly, it was one of the requirement of the Schneider Electric. It was
Okay.
we all were asked to undergo this. So really, we found very interesting because all the procurement professional in Schneider are CSP certified. It is one of the mandatory requirement. Everybody has to get certified so that okay, you learn and you apply the process which you learn from that. So it is part of our mandatory learning from our organization.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Excellent. So we have some time left. If somebody has a question, you can type in the chat box, or you can even unmute, your mic, and you can ask questions. Nishu, would you like to say something?
Yeah. So first of all, thank you, Mr. Sundar and Mr. Satish, for joining in and sharing this excellent, innovative idea. I'm sure the audience have gained from this a lot. There's one question we have from Rishikesh. So he first thanks for the insight. He says in chemical industry, supplier quality is really a big concern as it depends on number of parameters. If material is okay at supplier end, but during transit the parameters change, how will we be able to deal with that situation? And another question on top of that is, does this also consider the OTIF performance?
Yeah, so can I answer?
Yeah, yes, that is good.
Yeah.
You're
You're on
mute,
mute,
Satish.
Satish.
Satish, you're muted.
Okay. Yeah, it's a very good question because if the material is actually getting deteriorated during the transit. So one of the things that we do in Schneider Electric is what we call is a transient failure mode analysis. Okay. So it is not only the process failure mode analysis or design, but we also take care about the transient. So in this case, I think what I suggest is that you need to find out what are the various failure modes in the transit and why there is a deterioration of the chemicals, or why there is, a loss of properties or something, then maybe it will result you, because when you have a cross functional brainstorming session, because FMEA is done in a group with the technical experts, you will find very good solutions into that one.
Excellent. And the second
Excellent.
question is
Yeah.
about the OTIF,
Yeah.
on time in full.
Yeah, on time in full is very important. So uh, what we do is, actually you should have a digital platform over here. Okay. If you make the advanced shipping notes through the system, okay, whenever the material is delivered, so what will happen is that you will get to know the information. You will also know the transport lead time, and once you receive the material, you can actually monitor when it was received and what was the ordering date. So typically on time delivery as well as the full quantity material which is coming, there are two measurements which we can do. One, what is the contractual lead time, and are you receiving the material with the contractual lead time within that time frame? Second thing is, do you suppose you want the material maybe 2 days early or maybe 3 days later? Do you receive the material as you wanted? So there is another measurement which you can do, is that whether you are receiving the material when you wanted it, okay, early or late, whatever is the case may be. So these two measurements can help you to really see that the material is reaching on time and in full quantity. And you will also get to know well in advance if you have the ASN built into your digital systems.
Excellent.
Right, thank you. So we have another question. So probably one of the most talked about topics the recent times. So it's from a couple. He says, "Thanks for the insights and info. Any insights on how has been Schneider able to cope up with the steep decline in semiconductor supply across the globe during COVID turmoil?"
Yeah. Yes, semiconductor is a big challenge. Okay, semiconductor is probably known as a next to the oil. Okay, so semiconductor chips has becoming more and more topic today. So daily you can see the investments are the discussion happening in India. So semiconductor, as I was saying at the beginning on the supply chain topic, the semiconductor supply chain is taking a center stage where it is becoming a bottleneck to run your business. That's how I was informing that CEO, our CEO level connect. So we are creating a kind of a C level connect between semiconductor manufacturer C level to our C level, so that we get more and more allocation. Also, we have a strategic partnership. We also work along with them, giving them long-term PO, ensuring that the stocks are in place. Sometime doing the dual sourcing, okay, not to depend on only single source. So there are a lot of activities going on. Definitely, last 2 years for the semiconductors, manage supply management is a big challenge. So still the challenge is it's not going to end at least for next to 6 to 9 months. So hopefully we have learned to live with this. Only thing is to this time we have learned okay how important it is to have a good supplier relationship management. If you have a good supplier relationship now, then definitely you can go and request them to get the more allocation. So if your relationship more of transactional, definitely in this kind of a challenging time, you don't get what you want. So the people have realized more and more why it is so important to have a good supplier relationship maintained at C level, good supplier relationship management.
Perfect, excellent. Right. So if anyone has any other question, you can just unmute yourself and speak up. We'll give just few seconds. All right. If we do not have, then we'll close the session. I'd like to thank the speakers, Mr. Satish and Mr. Sundar, for taking out time and joining in. Thank you, Ravi sir, for once again hosting the excellent session. And thanks and congratulations to Schneider team for winning the SCPC Innovation Awards as well. That's a great achievement too. So thank you everyone. Thanks to the audience for joining in. I'm sure you have learned a lot from this session. session. We have a last and final session for season 3 on 16th of July at 4 p.m. On the same time, on the same link. So please do join in. Follow us on LinkedIn to stay updated with the next topic and the next speaker for the last episode of season 3. So thank you, everyone. Take care. Happy weekend.
Thank you.
Thank
Happy
you. Thank
weekend.
you.
Bye bye. Bye bye.